Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yes, let's see you all smile. I hope all of you, the first exercise in my class is to smile. I hope all of you have smiled. Stay at home. Yes? Mm, Let me begin. Now, see, I have just now, though I did not intend to share video, I will intend, PPT. I have just shared a PPT. Please take it. Now, before I go on and continue about culture, there are a few things that I wanted to show you more about introduction into international business. The first thing is I want to say is in what you generally see, the trends in business is what I'm talking about. We'll talk about Sony and innovation culture of Sony. All right, Sony. I'll show you the PPT. Sony. Okay. Yeah. Sony has a very powerful innovation culture. It has a long history of introducing technologies, new technologies. In 1955, Sony introduced Japan's first transistor radio. The company launched a pocket-sized radio. Please remember that I have spoken in the class about the miniaturization capabilities of Sony. In 1960, Sony released the world's first direct view portable TV, the TV8301. The company continued improving the TV and within 2 years produced the tiniest all transistor TV. In 1989, it released the Handycam, a portable, easy to use 8 camcorder. In 2003, the company released the world's first Blu ray disc player. In 2005, it upgraded the Handycam to high definition Handycam, creating the world's smallest video camera. Now, Sony underwater videos, underwater camera, all this Sony is very powerful. It is said that Sony releases 1,000 new products a year, out of which 200 are completely new products and 800 are refurbished products of the original products. All right. I have spoken to you about all this. Well, let's come back. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, please. We will go back into a video of culture. Just wanted to speak to you about Sony. It is one more powerful. Just hold on, class, once again. Open your culture video where I stopped. I stopped on communication. I stopped on communication. In communication, we spoke about non-verbal communication, gift giving, and hospitality. Mm, Now, I will come back with another PowerPoint which I sent to you today and explain to you properly again about other aspects. Here now we will talk about religion. Religion also is part of culture. See, religion, you watch my slides, you must have had it, you already have it. So, religion shapes attitudes its adherents have towards work, responsibility, planning, and consumption. We have different holidays for different religions. We have the Sabbath, we have the Sunday for Christians, we have a Friday for people following Islam, and we have different Hindu holidays. So all these holidays, the days we work, the days we want to relax, the days we want to pray, are all determined by our religion. Also, consumption, what we should eat, what we shouldn't, what we should. There are caveats and there are responsibilities, like donate so much towards your community prayer group or something like that. There are a lot of this thing towards work, towards responsibility, planning, and consumption. How responsible you are towards your family, etc. The way you look at having a girl child, the way all this, a lot of things are determined by religion. Um, Mostly, if I say the religion, more than religion, the community, religious community in which you belong to determines a lot of things about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. It may not be in the actual books, but it comes from ages, what you should and shouldn't do. Religion imposes restrictions, like you have days of fasting, etc., etc., and seasonal patterns of consumption. Like when you break a fast, what you have to eat. I've seen that lotus nuts, no, lotus seeds. I forgot what they call it. The lotus seeds are very consumed by a lot of people when they have their fast, or dates, for example. So different religions, when they break the fast, they have dates or something, and some many communities have lotus seeds. Some people insist on eating only fruits as long as you don't have the staple rice. You're fasting. So there are various ways how people fast, etc. All this is determined by religion. Seasonal patterns of consumption. See, how this for us, what people do is important as long as you are in that particular region. Because if you are in a particular region, you should know what to do and what not to do in order to be make people comfortable with you. Because we want to be we. We don't want to be them and us. We want to be we. All right. So this is one thing. Now, I was about to say seasonal patterns of consumption. Sorry. I was talking to you about in the 1994 Soccer World Cup, a particular company, I do not want to name it, in the carry away cups, may printed the flag of 24 countries. And they thought they were doing a good thing, but then people were angry because once you take away the paper cups, you're going to eat the stuff, maybe French fries, and then you're going to crumple it and throw it into the garbage. Would you like to throw away the national flag, your national flag, or anybody's national flag into the garbage? There was an uproar, and the company had to apologize. This is how one example of restrictions. We have to be very careful. And suppose you are in that particular region, for example, see, there is a very famous chocolate manufacturing company in the US, and through management information systems, they decide how many chocolates have to be given, etc., etc. At what time, during the, they have this Halloween and all that, and that time a lot of chocolates are required because you give gifts to the children who come to your doorstep and say trick or treat. So the demand for chocolates, that which chocolates which children can be delighted with, is much more, and that is why that those times is when they do more chocolates. Now, coming back to India, there is a particular place I was talking to you about. They shut down their wedding hall so that they have place to stock up on sweets for Diwali. They also have a sweet shop. This particular group of companies also have, yes, Ravi, good morning. They also have this thing wedding hall as well as this thing facilities. They have they have sweet shops, so they do not book any weddings for the that time. 1 month or 1.5 months before Diwali, Deepavali, they make use of the wedding hall to stock up on the boxes of sweets, because we know during Deepavali we give everybody sweets. Also during Ayudha Puja time, we give sweets to our employees and close associates, etc. So the demand for sweets. So that is one example that I can give you of stocking up on sweets. During Yugadi, you know what you have to do. You may require jaggery. You may require all those the groundnuts, etc., etc. That and the yellow, whatever is required, you will this thing. So when you're in India, which culture do Indians follow? We see country follows the culture of the biggest religious community. The biggest religious community in our country is Hinduism. So all of us Indians follow the Hindu culture. What is Indian culture? It is Hindu culture. Alright? So here we are. We have to follow the this thing. If you follow the Hindu culture as the Indian businessman, you will find that you will get the maximum benefits. All right. Okay. Now, once again, I went back by mistake. Now we talk about values and attitudes. Follow your this thing. Follow your PPT. In values, you have the first thing is time. Do you adhere to time? Do you come in time? Do you come late? I was talking to you about the times that suppose you're invited for dinner and you ask what time should I come, and the host or hostess says 7 p.m. Do you go at 7? Do you go at 8? Or do you go at 6:30? Depends on culture. All right. It depends on culture. Some people, if it is 8 o'clock, you're not expected to be there till 9 o'clock. Or if, as I said, if 7 o'clock, you're not supposed to be there. 7 plus 2, 9 p.m. So these are the ways. These are the untold or unsaid customs which you have to follow. So time. Then whether see when some of us are very much in time for class. Some of us say 9 o'clock class. Well, that is 9:15 for me, untold time. All right. So some of us say no. I have to be there at quarter to 9. So this is all this is determined by the way most of it is determined by the way we have been brought up. Now, authority. The next is authority. For example, I had a student of mine who called me hello, and he called up my name. I said, "What?" I was surprised because he was my old student. Again, he called out my name. Then I asked him, "What?" Then he said, "Sorry, ma'am, I'm so used to talking on first name basis in my company that I talk to you by first name." See, the thing is, I don't mind being called by my first name by people, my family. But then being called by my first name by my students is very uncomfortable, because that's my culture, right? That's my Indian culture. So this is the way. Authority. How do you see authority? See, when we, according to our culture, when we see a senior person with white hair, we respect them. We say we fall at their feet and take their blessing. I have so many of you coming and asking blessing before examination, during your birthdays. You come and fall at my feet and all. It's very sweet. It's a culture for blessings. All right. Considering that, you say, I'm your teacher, this is the way that happens. Then age. With age comes responsibility. With age comes respect for others. Yeah, many cultures, we always respect age and how we go about it. Education. Does education determine your values and attitudes? Education teaches you human values. The MBA teaches you business ethics, along with your corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, etc. So education status, and then next is status. Status is also very important. It determines what you buy, your buying behavior, buying patterns, etc. So last is reward systems. How do you reward? There is an example where MNC went into a particular country, and when it found that a particular young lady determined something that gave the company a lot of benefits. She found out a particular work process which helped save a lot of money to the company. It went on, the work process went on. So she was given a $5 increase. The next month, she came and requested that the $5 increase be removed, because thanks to that, she was differentiated. The others, no, differentiated. They said she's not one of us. So you have to be extremely careful when you determine what kind of reward systems you give, whether you can give the reward systems, etc. Some companies have found out a unique way of rewarding their. Suppose I remember one of my old students telling me he got married, and the company gave him a free honeymoon package to Singapore. So, and some very a jewelry set for his wife and all that. So something like this. It When your colleague is given a honeymoon package for his wedding, it doesn't make a big difference to you. But if your colleague is given a $5 or 500 rupees increase in salary every month, then you start shunning him and said, oh, he's a favorite of the management, etc. So we have to be careful. Now you look into the next slide, cultural differences and ethics. Cultural differences and ethics. Cultural differences can create ethical problems. Oh no, that day I gave you, okay, can create ethical problems. Acceptable behavior in one culture may be viewed as immoral in another culture. Or when you talk about immoral, we could talk about relationships. Like there are tribes in our country where the boys and the girls are put together to determine whom they want as their life partner, and after a suitable amount of time that they have spent together, they decide whom they want to marry. But if you see other cultures, they would not even, all you are allowed to, if the parents are involved in a marriage, all you are allowed to is see each other and talk to each other, etc. So this cultural differences, ethics, many things considered moral in one community is not considered so in another community. Cultural clusters. Now I'm going to go on and talk to you about Hofstede and how he did cultural clusters. A cultural cluster includes many countries that share cultural similarities. Differences do remain, but you can group them and say these countries have similarities in their culture, and that is useful when you sell a product. You could sell a product that is accepted in the same form without customization in different countries. Now, it is, for example, we'll talk about geographical and regional economic integrations. Uh, I talked to you about European Union. European Union had 28 countries. Now that Brexit has happened, there are 27. And the beauty of it is, if, for example, I want to tell you that India has a great scope, or we as Indians, when we export, we have a great scope if we go into one of the countries of European Union, because the European Union, if you follow their rules and regulations about the product you are selling to any one of the European Union nations, you do not have to customize it again for the other 26 countries. So it's a very great advantage, because once you adapt your product or customize it to one country in the European Union, all the other countries will accept it in the same form. So you as future exporters can look into this aspect once again. Remember that we go into characteristics of culture. The other things I've already spoken about. So culture is shared, it is learned, it is subjective, it is enduring, it is cumulative, dynamic. I think we already spoke about it. Now we talk about low context cultures. Low context cultures do not do like only words convey main part of the information. When you talk, they only talk, they do not make gestures, they do not use their hands, or they do not express greatly with their eyes, or they do not with their smile, they do not make a grim face, or they do not make a smiling face or something like that. They just speak. These are low context cultures. The high context cultures are mostly like when you welcome them, only you welcome them with a very big smile in communication, and then you may shake your hand or shake your head. When you talk, you may gesture, you may bang on the table, bang your hand on the table, or you may wipe your forehead in frustration. So these are all very expressive cultures, more expressive than simply words. They are called high context cultures. Usually, they are saying compatible with drama advertising strategy. So when you advertise in these cultures, you are expected to give a story or a humorous thing, something that is more expressive than just telling, use this, it is the best toothpaste. Someone coming online and just holding a toothpaste and saying this is the best toothpaste, etc., etc., or this toothpaste gives you this. It is that happens in low context cultures. In high context cultures, you're expected to have maybe a family where the child has a problem, and then you use the product and the problem with the child goes away, and the parents are shown as happy or clapping. First they show, the parents are shown as frustrated. Or when you have these insurance ads where they show the frustration, it could be that a frustrated senior citizen, or if you save through insurance, you do not have so much frustration, you're able to buy gifts for others instead of being accepting gifts. So really, in these high context cultures, you have to have a drama or a excuse me, or a skit or a story form of advertising. This is the implication of high context and low context cultures. Let's go on. Um, there are when I this is very difficult to explain online. I will tell you later. Now you come to this slide where we have theories of culture. Please come to that slide and go to this one. This slide, Hofstede. Hofstede has developed a model for cultural analysis. In 1976, from 1967 to 1973, Hofstede collected data on the attitudes and values of IBM employees. Because Hofstede was working as a psychologist for IBM, he collected the employee attitudes, that is IBM employee attitudes and values of 116,000 individuals. It enabled him to compare dimensions of culture over 40 countries. Now, you may say, ma'am is referring to some data that is from 1967 to 73. I can tell you that till today, such an expansive study has not been done by anybody, because 116,000 individuals is quite a expansive study. So such an expansive study has not been done. That's why it is still valued. Please see, he's done a beautiful job. uh, Now, watch this, it is important for you. Hofstede used, based on his data collection and his study, five dimensions, or we call it orientations, of how people behave. The first one is social orientation, then you have power, then uncertainty, goal, and time. Let's see what this is. Social orientation is a person's beliefs about the relative importance of the individual and the groups to which that person belongs. For example, look at this, relative importance of the individual and the groups to which he or she belongs. In our country, we have community groups, caste groups, religion groups. It becomes important that that person belongs to a particular community, etc., etc. The two there are see for everything of this, every orientation, there is imagine there are two extremes. You have one extreme as individualism and the extreme as collectivism. We'll look into this. Individualism is a cultural belief that a person comes first. They put their own interests and those of the individual families ahead of others. This is individualism. In individualistic societies, a person's career path involves switching employers. He doesn't mind getting, quitting jobs, jumping from job to job, so that he can prove that he has merit, he has capabilities. Uh, so that is individualism. In collectivism, the group form comes first. See, societies that tend to be collectivistic are characterized by well-defined social networks. I would say our country, including extended families, tribes, and co-workers. See, many of you who are not from India and Indians have been telling me that, ma'am, we live in an extended family. My family, I have left my children at home, but I don't worry so much because my brothers, my parents, my grandparents all live together. The children are well taken care of, for example. We have extended families. Sometimes I've been told there is an old person, senior person in the house. Is it your grandfather or grandmother? No, you've been telling me, saying it's a distant relative, but that particular person has no children, has not been married, so no immediate family. So my parents have decided to take care of the person in our house. That person is sick and I take care of him, or like this. So the children are in the such collectivistic families. There are extended as a collectivistic societies. Sorry, there are extended families where the children are also taught that the value of looking at taking care of people in their old age, etc., etc. So people are expected to put the good of the group ahead of their own personal freedom or interests or success. In collectivistic cultures, there you have the example of Japan here. A person's job changing reflects disloyalty to the collective good, that is, the firm, and may brand the person as unworthy of trust. Some time ago, I was reading in one of the books. I've been read so many books, so I'm confused as I cannot remember which one. So it said in Japan, if a person works for Honda, he doesn't say I work for Honda. He says I am a Honda man. So that shows his loyalty. But things, as you know, have been changing. So there we are. Now, I hope you understood individualism versus collectivism. We come to the next orientation. This is the power orientation. It refers to the beliefs about appropriateness of power and authority, differences in hierarchies such as business organizations. I will explain here. There are two things here: power, respect. Okay, I cannot explain that. Please, this slide. Power respect means people in a culture tend to accept the power and authority of their superiors simply on the basis of the superiors' positions in the hierarchy and respect the superior's right to that power. For example, I'm a professor in your department, so simply by looking at my board. You say, oh, ma'am is a professor, we have to respect her. You see my all the boards, and you know how much to respect your faculty room. When you say a faculty room, you see the faculty there. Simply because we are the faculty, you respect us. So, based on our positions, you respect us. This is the power respect thing. In the other extreme, as you said, as I told you before, there is a extreme. One is a power respect. The other one on the other extreme is power tolerance. Here in power tolerance, people attach less significance to a person's position in the hierarchy and can question a decision or direction from someone, or perhaps even refuse to accept it. Like, you can question me when I'm teaching. For example, if you disagree with me, well, as in a class, you're supposed to disagree and ask. That's how the class becomes proactive. But let us not go into the teacher-student relationship. It's difficult to explain. In a company, they question. Suppose you find the boss not up to date. He's not as adept at that particular situation, or he's not good in handling situations, and you are. Then you tend to question it. They are willing to follow a leader when that leader is perceived to be right. If you find your boss who's good at his work and who can guide you, who can be your mentor, then they follow him. Otherwise, it is not so. It's like this simple. If you see the last sentence, it makes it clear to you. Not because of the leader's intangible right to issue orders, it is because of his capacity that he's followed. Then you have the third orientation called the uncertainty orientation. In the uncertainty orientation, the one extreme is uncertainty acceptance. Now, see, people here, ambiguity is seen as a context within which an individual can grow, develop, and carve new opportunities. Certainty means a little monotony. See, the example here is we Indians do not like to accept uncertainty. We grow up. I give you the example of how you're in a cradle and how everybody cuddles you, and you're brought up. We Indians are brought up in a very firm atmosphere where you know that you're loved by your parents, your uncles, your aunts, everybody. So you you're very certain of it. So you do not accept uncertainty. Same thing. See, when you have a government job, okay, you're fixed for life. We like this is what we talk about. So we like certainty, not uncertainty. All right. Uh, Hello, everyone. Yeah. All right. I just thought I'll come back to you. Okay. So you have follow my slides. You have uncertainty acceptance. Then you have uncertainty avoidance. So the other culture thing is whether you accept uncertainty or you accept certainty. This is the two extended. Then the next one is goal orientation. Goal orientation is 1 minute. You watch the slides again. Goal orientation is the manner in which people are motivated to work. Okay. One is aggressive goal behavior. One end of the continuum is the right word. In the continuum, you have two extremes. One is the what we talked about, aggressive goal behavior. The other one is passive goal behavior. See, in certain countries, it's where there is no capitalism. Say in capitalism, or those countries where you are rewarded for your work, your goal behavior becomes aggressive. But in countries where the political system is such that you will work and everyone will work and you will get the same amount of money for whatever you work, then the goal behavior becomes passive. Now we come to the next one called the time orientation. One end of the continuum is the long term and the long term outlook. The other end of the continuum is short term outlook. Now, short term outlook, long term orientation. versus the short-term outlook on work, life, and other aspects of society. Like, do you want to stay there for a long term, or do you want to stay in a business for a sorry in a job for a short term? Do you want to jump from one to another? See, all these orientations are in a way related to each other. Now, MNCs facilitate this process of cultural convergence through the advertisement, as we talked about that drama concept of, a story concept of advertisement before. So, advertisement define appropriate lifestyles, attitudes, and goals, and by bringing new management techniques, technologies, and cultural values to the countries in which they operate. Now, as I think this class has been rather heavy, I would like to stop here for it's only 10:50. Yes, I would like to. Do you want? Wait, I want to do something else. I just sent you a slide. You look into that. IB class, I sent you a slide. You go on down. I'll tell you where. Some things that I need to tell you. Go to slide number 43. You get the member countries of the European Union here and watch the flags of the different countries. Slide number 43. If you wish, I will show you here. Here it is. You have the member countries of the European Union, you have the flag of the European Union here, and you have the different countries. Yeah. United Kingdom has left because there's a Brexit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Out of these 28 countries, one country has left. Okay, I will give you these examples, this one. Now you look at this IKEA. IKEA is very popular with the modular furniture. See, a few years ago, when I was reading the paper, I read that Ingvar Kamprad, the owner of this Swedish furniture company, was, the media added up his estates, etc., and not he has not declared his estates to the media. The media added up his estates, and they decided that he was richer than Bill Gates. How does a furniture firm become so powerful? See, we have orientations. We have ERPG orientations. Four. E stands for ethnic, R for regional, P for and G for geographic. Sorry, I'll come back on the P. So E is ethnocentric. Now, ethnocentric means, suppose, see, a country manufactures something very well. We decide that we are doing very well, so our furniture, our ethnic product is good for all over the world. Fish and chips from England, for example. So many products from India. Basically, maybe we call it tattooing today is also called as mehendi can be used for tattooing, because mehendi is not permanent. So you have a particular occasion that you want tattoo and don't want it for your life, then it is mehendi tattooing. All right, it's not permanent. So something like this the is ethnocentric. IKEA decided, P for polycentric. IKEA decided that its Swedish furniture ethnographically is best for all over the world. Now, what does IKEA do? IKEA is a furniture that can be afforded by all salaried people also. They have modular furniture. You can buy one module and you can buy two modules later. If you see this picture, you can see these desks and all that. They can be removed, they can be added, they can be removed. I can have two of this and one of this stand. This stand can come and be attached next month when I have more money. I can attach some more of this in the next month. The shoe rack could be only so much, three racks here, and then three I could add when I have more money. These, if you see these two, they can be added later. So when you have money, you can add, etc., etc. Now, IKEA became very famous all over the world because they gave franchises to others. Now, when the franchises were given, they also told them that the work processes, this is how you should work and make your furniture. This is how to do it. So they taught them to do it at a very low cost, so they could offer the furniture at a reasonable cost. Now, IKEA had a problem when they went to the US. Now, if you see, the European dinner plates are smaller than the American dinner plates. The cups are also smaller than the American drinking cups, and even the containers, whatever they drink, have their drinks in. They're all larger. The American dinner plates, their drinking cups are larger than the European what Europeans have generally. So what happened with the IKEA is when they went to America, their sales were not as good as expected. They made a research and they found out that in America, in Europe, if you see that bed there, you see this bed there, it will have some storage space down here. In this storage space, the Europeans were storing their lingerie, whereas in America, I believe the weather can suddenly change and from warm to cold and all that. So Americans like to keep their quilts here, what you call in India razai, they would like to store their quilts here. So the Europeans with their lingerie had no lingerie, I think. They didn't have a problem about the space they provided in the under the bed, but the Americans did have a problem. So for the first time, IKEA decided that they should customize for their customer, and they made this bed space 3 inches long, 3 inches or 2 inches, I'm not sure. They made it a slightly bigger, and then the sales picked up. Also, the kitchen cabinets, the storage cabinets you see here, they made it slightly bigger. Okay, so this is the implication of culture on business. I cannot show you. Now, this is the ethnic part, giving back to society part of IKEA. It produces flat pack refugee shelter. Um, it turned, see, this is a rapidly assembled house that you can use in crisis zones. All right. So this is how they give back to society. I will talk to you all about this later. I think just to have some fun part come down, I will because I don't want to make this class heavy. I will come back and do all this for you once again. Have some little fun in the class. Can you see this? Negotiation, as I talked to you the other day about a winner convincing the loser to lose. Wait, okay, look at this. These are symbols, right? When you see this symbol, what do you say? You say yes. The Statue of Liberty in the US. So a symbol, look at me before that. If I ask you what is this, what will you say? What is this? You'll say victory, you'll say we, you may say freedom, according to what you want, right? But actually, these are just my two fingers. But I'm not right, you are right. Because when I show a symbol, it means anything else than my fingers. It means victory, it means we or freedom or whatever it is supposed to mean. A symbol is something that is anything else than my fingers. They are my fingers, of course, but I'm wrong and you are right. All right. So a symbol is anything that represents something else. Here, the Statue of Liberty represents the United States of America. It's not just the Statue of Liberty. This one, yes, the Big Ben in London. So this more than the Big Ben, we say, oh, London, oh, England. All right, which is this? Yeah, of course, our country, Bharat Mata. This is, yeah, you wouldn't want to talk about it now. This is India, our great country, India. There are symbols. When you see a dove, you'll say peace. When you see a dollar or a rupee, you'll say money, money. And when you see a heart, it is, yes, obviously love. So there are status symbols like, see this car, how long it is. Would you like to travel in this car for a function? A diamond fingering or costly watch. These are all status symbols. Having so many hides is a status symbol, or possibly this one. It all shows that he's a chief. If you see this, the number of rings around the neck, yeah, is a status symbol. The having the bravery to do this tattoo is a status symbol in some countries, or in our country also. My goodness, you have done such a big tattoo. Number of sheep, more number of sheep means richer in some countries, even in our villages. You have so many sheep, yes, you are rich. Yeah. Gandhiji symbolizes peace. This is Shakira. She represents, you may decide. This is the end of a race. Alright? For example, if I show you this, you know which it is. You know what it is. This one. You don't need to say, now this says meat is not green. But when you say vegan, you know what it is. When you see this symbol, when you see this, you know what it represents. What does this say? What does this fellow say? What is this fellow saying? He's not saying, look at the time. He's saying, you're late. This one says, yay, we won. Get this. We won. You're late. Go away. And the seal is saying, I'm full. Okay, what ideas are you saying by these gestures? Right? Okay, to summarize, symbols represent something else. Like I showed you two fingers, and you said, and well, it was victory, but I said they are just my fingers. Okay, a symbol can be a sign, a place, a gesture. A symbol can be local, regional, national, international. Each culture has its own unique symbols. Okay, and symbols are often controversial also. Alright? Like I said, they are my fingers. They're not my fingers. Okay, class. I think we are at 11 o'clock. I have to start a class for juniors. Thank you. Yes, Prabha, Balaji, Sepide, Priya. Okay. Uh, yes, Priya, I generally give more examples, but some examples are more comfortable when you give in the class, you see. And I cannot mention companies, etc., like this. So, thank you for that beautiful comment. Class, once again, I'm telling you, uh, the powers that be, the government is telling us, taking care of us. You can see the policemen how hard they are working. You can see how hard the medical personnel are working. Selflessly they are working. We must. I feel that in these times of this thing. I told you, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Yes, the tough get going. And kindness and consideration, empathy, these are the values that have come out in our Indian society in this time of trouble. You see so many people volunteering to prepare food, give the food to the needy. It's a wonderful thing. You see, in times of trouble, the tough get going, yes, but the kind and the considerate also are going. The people who empathize with others are, also helping. It's so much. See, one of you, Ashish, for example, is driving needy people from Kushalnagar, Mysore, etc. I'm so happy that some of you, and then the blood donation is going on. I have a group from Kolar. They are giving, they arrange blood, and in these times also they are doing a wonderful job. People in my area are giving free food. um, Somehow we have found humanity in this kind of trouble, which is a wonderful thing, really wonderful thing. Like, if we have been blaming the system, the people, etc., we find now that people really have a heart. It's so blessedly nice to this thing. You feel so nice to see those examples where people are helping each other. See, given my situation and my age, I cannot help go outside or something like that. But what we can do for each other is stay strong. Listen to the government. Please don't go outside. I think we can survive with whatever we have. Maybe if you do not have tomatoes, you have tamarind paste, or never mind if you don't have the sour taste in your food. We can manage without it. You don't need tomatoes all the time for sour taste or something like that. Learn to cook where you do not need a particular item that you do not have. Green chilies can be substituted with red chili powder or pepper, and you may like the taste better. You never know. You may be experimenting and getting new recipes. I'm talking about those who are cooking for themselves. I'm really sad about those of you who were dependent on takeaways or deliveries of food. Try and cook. It's nice. It's easy. Or you can cook up something simple. You can put in some rice and vegetables together and some spices, and you get a nice, tasty food to eat with a little oil and all that. Important thing is to stay at home as much as possible. Try to eat the dry stuff, like the grams which you can soak, and this thing you can order from takeaways. You can order from groceries. Soak the grams and use them. They are nutritious. They give you protein. And that's it. If you do not get fresh vegetables, go in for that. You may like it. Putting some grams into the rice, and cooked grams into the rice, and making a what do you call it, biryani or a pela or pot dish is very interesting. My humble request to all of you, my students, is stay at home. Let us break the chain. Let us be, and do not be frightened. Fear increases. See, someone who is afraid uh, allows others to exploit them. Please remember, do not be afraid. We are all. We all are religious and we pray. Why do we pray if we do not have faith that God is going to help us? It would be useless. Your prayer would be useless if you do not have confidence that God is going to help you. So, all of you who are praying, stay strong in prayer. Pray for others also, and all of us, religious or not, we all believe that there's a central being up there who's helping us. So let us be confident. Let us smile always. Let us be there for each other, and I'm always there on call or on WhatsApp, on messages. You want to talk to me, you're feeling sad, you can talk to me, or you have a doubt, you can talk to me. Give me 5 minutes, I'll take a break, and I'll come back for second years. Second sems. Bye, guys. Take care.